If you wanna give all your bands up, not me, I'ma get me a land truck. 720, my minimum credit score. If you know what I know, you can better yours. Financial literacy. Financial literacy. Financial literacy. Financial literacy.
Credit, I ain't spending no debit. Wow, that's stupid. Rather get paid if I use it. Financial literacy, my only hope. Ain't living rich and dying broke. So
we are live. We are live, man. We are live. Hold your horses. Hold your seats, man. Got a shout out to my king, the only L. Hicks, Larry Hicks, the infamous, the one and only. You know what I mean? We actually, you know, supported the book, man, and it was something different, man. King Ease, what's up? Ease, talk to him. Ease, talk to him, right?
So my intro here is not going to do this man enough justice, but I'm gonna, we're gonna roll the drum roll, please. So listen, this brother right here, the pioneer. There's different phases and different things that go on in different industries, and this new wave that's going on to taking the credit, taking the CRAs to court. This king right here was the pioneer. I've been in the mix for a minute, and nobody else dropped it how you did, at least. You know what I mean? So you definitely set that off on top of the plethora of different business endeavors you have going on. That's just one of many of your streams. So definitely round of applause for the king for doing what he does for the community and breaking his generational curses and doing major and big things. For those in attendance that don't know you, can you tell them who Lawrence Hicks is?
That's a long, drawn-out question. Let me try to summarize. Well, you know what? Lawrence Hicks is just a person like anybody else with just ambition to, overcome certain circumstances that some people may not be. Might be a way to able to elude like regular. So, I'm just a person that's found a way to come from the most humblest beginnings and try to rise to the cream of the crop to get to the best of everything.
So, what's the foundation of the industry that you're in? For the people that don't know. And secondly, if people want to get in contact, because I know after this interview, they're going to want to be reaching out, and you might get an influx of, new audiences and new customers base, whatever. How can someone get in contact with you, King?
You can contact me through the Instagram. It's IOMDUB and the number 4. You'll see me there with the suit on, the red bow tie. And then, of course, on Facebook, my Lawrence A. Hicks. That's LAWRENCE, middle initial A, last name Hicks, HICKS. And then also, you can click on the links on both of those pages. I have all of my link trees in the bio. So it's contact information there and all of the products that we offer.
All right, so let's get into it. So I see you from Michigan, born and raised.
Pontiac, Michigan. Yes, born and raised.
Okay. All right. And now, as far how was that for you coming up? How was Pontiac, Michigan for you coming up?
Pontiac was a unique experience. It's like 20 minutes outside of Detroit, though. So some people would consider that the hood. So. I grew up in the projects. I was homeless at 6 years old. Child Protective Services took us from the house at 11 years old. I moved to the projects. Things got, real then, and started getting locked up at 16, went to the juvenile. In Michigan, you consider an adult at 17. So I was locked up in the county like 2 weeks after my birthday, probably the youngest person in the county being locked up. I got my first felony before I was even 18 years old. I actually turned 18 being locked up. And I was a promising basketball player. I was getting D1 offers in 10th grade. And by the 12th grade, I was locked up in the county, so I couldn't even go to college, play any basketball. So that was a real lesson for me there, how I can really screw up things for myself. So that was maybe probably one of the pivotal points of me understanding, like, you got to go after what you want in life. You can't just be doing what you want in life, if that makes sense. So at first, you growing up, people say they're a product of their environment, and I would say I was. So that's what led me to all the trouble. But once I really dialed in and said, I want something out of life, and this is what I want, I realized I had to be a new person to get a new outcome. And that right there was what really shaped the framework of me, who I am today.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
A lot of people don't make it, man. They make those 2 left turns, man, and they can't come back.
Wow. That's I actually never knew that about you, Lawrence. Like that's and I'm glad we're really getting to know you, you know, the man behind it all. So what caused you? So I do see that you did end up going to college, right? You have a bachelor's degree. What caused that? And the master's, excuse me, and put some respect on his name. So for you, what caused you? So you turned 18 while you were in prison. So you were still in high school.
Or actually considered the jail. I wasn't sentenced to a prison term, so I was locked up what they consider the county. You can do up to a year in the county where I'm from.
Okay. And then from that point, how did it transition from that to you going to college?
As I stated earlier, I was always on the college journey, but me trying to live that hood life and at the same time of being a productive citizen, they were clashing. So I had to choose a lane. So after I got out, I got back on the college journey. I was good at basketball, so I pursued that basketball route. I had to go to adult ed first to get my degree to finish high school because I actually got locked up before I even finished high school. So I had to get out, finish high school, go to adult ed, do my thing, and then I got on the college scene because I always knew I wanted to play basketball. And funny story, I told myself the way I was going to get out the hood was a athletic scholarship. So since I was still in the hood and I hadn't got that scholarship yet, I got back on that route. So I just pursued basketball. I knew I could do my thing, and I went to the local college, Oakland Community College, and once they signed me on, I was on that goal again. So I did 2 years there, finished I was top 20 in the country in scoring, third guard in my state.
Damn.
I was back on the scene, got my athletic scholarship, and kept pushing though. So whatever I told myself I was going to do, nothing held me back. I just got back on the scene.
Wow, man, when you hear stories like that, that's inspirational. And we're going to get into everything else you have going on, but just for folks so they could understand the trajectory of how much your life changed. What different businesses do you have going on? What different industries are you involved in right now?
Currently, I'm a realtor. I own a real estate company, so we build houses from the ground up, and then we renovate homes as well. And then I own the Financial Literacy University. So that's a umbrella of the services that we offer. So basically, we can help people with credit repair, and we actually have a guaranteed program right now, nothing I've ever heard of, money back guarantee. We can get it done in 2 to 4 months, though. So that's one of the things I'm standing behind right now. That's one of our most promising products. And then, of course, we have the mentorship. I have the ebook teaching people how to sue the credit bureaus and win without going to court or using any laws. We have the business credit ebook where we basically teaching people how to be presentable to the banks. I get a lot of customers that come to me and they want things, but they aren't in position. So I started realizing to bridge that gap is how do people know what presentable to the banks looks like? So that's what inspired that ebook, to make them presentable. So when they want to pull the trigger, they can feel confident that they're ready. And basically, I teach people how to set up their trust, how to get started in real estate. I've owned a luxury car dealership for the past 12 years. So how you can own a car dealership, what type of cars. I like the luxury always. So if you want that help, how to fund your dealership, personal finance, personal credit, personal audits, business funding. And the unique thing about business funding, that endeavor alone is, I think, better than going to college, because my mentorship is only $3,097. But if you learn a skill to get someone $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in a matter of weeks, and you getting 10% of that, now you think about college costs, what? Maybe 10 grand a year if you had a lower end. And if you go for 4 years, we talking about 40 grand. You'll pay that and still get a job that won't pay you 40 grand. But I'm talking about opportunity to pay $3,000 and learn how to make 6 figures in about 3 weeks. So that's a unique opportunity that
I ain't never look at it like that, and the way you bridge that, I ain't never look at it like that. That's fire right there, dog. Wow. Yeah. So y'all hear that, parents out there? If your kid's not really cut for college, because everybody ain't cut for it, man. You dig what I'm saying? You gotta find a trade that they can gravitate to, and business funding is one of them trades.
So out of all the things you just mentioned, what would you say is your main thing?
It's kind of funny. Everybody's asked that, but I look at it like I like real estate because that's the long-term wealth building strategy. But that's like the middle of the story. They say, how does the story start? It starts with credit. It starts with personal finance habit. It starts with money management. So let's paint a full picture instead of just giving you a glimpse. So I would say credit and real estate, they roll hand in hand. And once you have that specialty, then you can branch out to understand business. Because I started most of my businesses just understanding the credit realm. So I would say, to answer that question, credit and real estate, and I think they go hand in hand, and investing.
So credit is like, it was taboo when we was growing up, though. And everybody don't ever want to touch it because their credit is so bad, like, and they believe that they can never come from having bad credit, so they never want to pursue it. What would you tell a 35-year-old female or young king out here that's trying to make it, but they credit is just tore up from the floor up? What would you tell them, King?
The first thing I would do is ask them to look inside of themselves and ask themselves, what do they want to be? Because if they answer that question to themselves, then now the road is clear. You say, all right, I want to be in this position in, let's say, 2 years, and that's a financially stable position. So if they view themselves as wanting that, then now they're seeking out for the ways to accomplish that goal. Mm-hmm. I would feel like I'm the bridge to that gap. Okay, you're looking for someone that can help you get on that road to say, I can get you what you need as far as credit repair, as far as understanding this personal finance landscape, because that's your foundation of how you build whatever you want to build. So basically that person would say, you know what, I want different, and I'm seeking out someone I can trust, and I appreciate them as an individual being willing to offer that. And I'm just like the person that's just like, here, you know how you go to the store and you're thirsty? I'm the store. Come and get something to drink, but we sitting here waiting for you.
So what made you choose the credit industry?
That's a great question. Doing all my research, I really like Robert Kiyosaki. I used to listen to him a lot. He's always talking about debt. And then I started doing a research about the most successful people. When we think about being successful, it's usually, if I can buy everything in cash. But then I dug a little deeper, and the most successful people, they actually leveraging credit. So it kind of put a light bulb in my head, like, all right, master credit and you can be as successful as you want, because remember, it always starts with what's your goal. My goal was to be a billionaire. So I had to understand what billionaires do, think, and operate like. And one of the foundations, like when Elon Musk had bought Twitter, people would think he was the richest man in the world at the time, according to Forbes. So they would think he can buy it cash, but he was still using credit. So I'm like, no matter where you go or how rich you think you are, credit still comes back into play. So I'm like, all right, let me understand this credit foundation and let that be the pinnacle of my success. So that's what made me dive in there and really understand it. And till to this day, it's been a beautiful thing, and I'm glad I started there.
Gotcha. So just to understand, so as far as the entrepreneurship thing, like that, did that come about after you graduated with your bachelor's, or was it after the at what point did you incorporate, doing your own thing into the equation?
I'm not going to corporate America. I'm doing my own thing. What do you
mean? I always think about when I ask myself, how do you be successful as you want to be? And I started doing the research. Your most successful people, they dropped out of college to be more successful. So the fact that I was in college, I'm like, all right, you want something, but this isn't even the route that the people have taken to get what you want. So it was about 2011. I came down here to Alabama to get my master's degree at Alabama A&M, and I started selling cars prior to that, before I actually had my own dealership. So that was my first business, selling cars. And I thought I was going to grad school to learn how to run a business. But when I figured out that they were only teaching you how to work for another business, I was like, oh, man, back to the drawing board. All right, come on, let's rescript this, because I had all my hopes there. So I'm like, all right, let me open a business and figure out what this is about, because they ain't teaching me that. So in 2011, I had opened the car dealer, or 2012 actually, I opened the car dealership and got my dealer's license. And then I was actually selling cars from my house. Here in Alabama, the laws are a lot more lenient. So that was one of the more attractive features. Starting out early, you think you need a lot to get set up, but it wasn't that way. So I'm like, all right, I can start and really just learn this thing. So I was selling cars from my house at first while I was still in grad school, and really getting the feeling it was better, giving me better income than I could even ask a job for. And a funny story, I got a $5,000 loan from my brother when I first started. And I wasn't managing the funds as best as I should have. So I actually got down to about $800. and I found a car at the auction, and I bought then. And I was coming down from Michigan to Tennessee. I was going to Lane College then playing basketball for them. So that's like a 10-hour drive from Michigan to Tennessee. And that last car I bought with that $800, I drove it down to Tennessee, and then I sold it and made some money. And then now I actually made my first $1 million last year from the car industry, all the way from that $800 I got down to back in 2012. So that was a funny story.
Oh, crazy, dog. Oh, crazy.
Yo.
Damn.
Wow. So
Oh, we gotta get it. We gotta get it up, dog. Wow. So we're literally talking to a millionaire, dog. And he made it from the muck, man. He went to the bid. He did a bid, just like all you other youngins out there that think that we all did a bid. Y'all can't come out and this credit first, man. Is get your credit and get that understanding, man. Get with this king. My bad, King. Go ahead, King. Go ahead.
No, you good. That's a major milestone. Now for you, is that something that I'm pretty sure, because you, like you said, you knew you were going to be a billionaire. So I already knew that. When you hit that milestone, was that on purpose? Was that planned? Did you look at your KPIs and do like, if I do this and do that, then I can scale up to this? And that's what did that look? Were you surprised? Did you overcome your, you know what I'm trying to say? Like how did last year turn into your million? What did you do different last year that you didn't do the years prior to that brought you to that?
In the car industry too, this wasn't even the financial.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? This was the car industry. So that transition, you know what I mean, is a huge accomplishment, King. But like he was saying, like what did you do the year before that you didn't do last year? You know what I mean? That you touched that number.
It was networking. One of the forms, I think, in marketing is a beautiful thing. You can have the best thing or be the best person in the world, but if people don't know about you, then they just can't. So that's the journey I'm actually on now in the financial literacy industry, because I've been doing this since 2013, helping people just because I love to help people and I knew I could offer something, but it's never been on this scale. So I think about it like always just trying to do better every time. And if you continue to say, I want better and put yourself in position to do better, for me, it's imminent. And that's how it was, just networking and putting myself in position and always going hard. I remember my partner that we started selling cars with, we would get up 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, go to Nashville, come right back, and then head to Atlanta, come right back, go to here. So we were just relentless, getting up, and no matter what time it was in the morning, traveling and driving and doing whatever we got to do. And, you know, sometimes you go into a grind mode and you don't even look up. You just grinding because you know what goal you got. And then when you look up, you're like, dang, I'm here. Like, so it's really just putting your head down, you know, and just staying focused. Then when you look up, and that actually was in 3 months. That wasn't the whole year. If you look on my Instagram, I posted my bank statements. We did that million in 3 months. So I only show 3 months how that million came. So that wasn't a picture of the year. So it's really just putting your head down, grinding, staying focused, networking, having a goal to accomplish, and then just being relentless.
Networking marketing, guys. Networking marketing, man. Wow, that's a blessing, bro.
So credit that, you know, credit you there's a strong passion with credit, and then so I'm pretty sure there's principles that you apply from your credit into your car dealership business, right? Now you got me thinking, like, are you helping people, like if they get denied, are you fixing up their stuff so they can get approved? Like, how does that, are you going? Yeah. Oh, so it's a one-stop shop.
Yeah, that was funny. I had an ecosystem. I used to fix people credit. They buy a car from me and then buy a house from me, or put them. So that's how I liked it, to just keep that full circle.
Let's go.
I ain't even peeped that, because you're a real estate agent, developer, because those are three major the major assets that or liabilities that you, whatever you want to call it, that a person endures in their life: an automobile and a home.
And a nice, not just a car, a nice car. And then we not just a home, a nice home.
There we go.
Wow, that's big. Wow.
So, you know, I got a rule of thumb question for you now. Would you advise a client to, because I hear people say, if you want to buy a house, don't buy the car, right? Or are you talking, as far as people, are there people that you dealt with that bought houses and cars from you?
Of course, yeah.
So what does I was going to say, I think you already know where I was going with it.
Okay.
What does that look like for you?
Yep.
So here's the thing with that, nothing is just cookie cutter. It's always situational based. So that's usually for an individual that hasn't managed their credit to the best of their ability and they're borderline getting accepted. So it's like, all right, just don't do anything so we don't mess this up. But try to imagine an individual that has managed their credit and they have the leverage to say, you know what they call debt to income ratio. If your debt to income ratio, and usually with a mortgage, I think it's 55%. If you under that number and you at 30%, 20%, 40%, all these other percentages, that qualifies you to take on more debt. The average individual is not in that position, so they're just meeting borderline requirements. So if that's not the issue, then you can do whatever you want. You have more flexibility, so you don't have to fit into that cookie cutter saying.
To take on more debt. That's what it is, to take on more debt. So depending upon your debt, the income ratio out there, guys, that depicts from the banking institution how much more debt you can take on. And that is good in this case right here, right, King? We talking debt, you know what I mean? And debt is good.
As long as it's good debt. Because they got bad debt that exists out there too that's not making you money.
Big gems. Like this, and I'm glad, honestly, and because I see you in the credit space and whatnot. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I want this, and I'm glad because this is like, I haven't heard. You know what I mean? This is dope to really get to know you on this level, to get this part of your story that people may not get to see or hear often. I think that's real dope, and it just sheds light on really how dope you are and how dope your story is and what you're doing. Where
do you see your brain at in 5 years, King?
5 years, we blowing up. This is a new endeavor as far as making myself available online. I like where AI is taking us. I like where online marketing is taking us. So now all these things that I've been doing behind the scenes for a decade plus, I can offer this to a multitude of people. So in 5 years, I feel like I would have helped thousands of people and more people will be aware of who Lawrence are and what he has to offer.
So the piggy, going back real quick to the real estate, are you more of a fix and flip guy or buy and hold?
There's multiple strategies you can execute in real estate. So I like to try a couple of them. Building a portfolio, I do have that because I have only 3 homes I have now is worth $1 million. So I like to build that portfolio as far as holding. But then the building from the ground up, that's what I've learned renders the most profits. Unless you're just in a killer situation where you can get a renovation. For prime example, I've been in real estate since 2016. Started my first real estate company in 2018. I had 3 other partners and we started building homes from the ground up. Buy the land, find a contractor, get the plans, and we build the houses. We were averaging 6 figures on those houses, either $100,000 or more in profit net.
Woo! You have to throw that, you have to throw the N word out there so they know it's real.
yeah. So that's after all expenses. So I started learning. I'm like, okay, this is where it's at. So building, I like that niche, but then like right now, I'm in a renovation deal to where we purchased it for $295. We're gonna put maybe $150,000 or more in it, but what they call ARV, after repair value, is $695. Yeah,
so you're all in maybe 4, maybe 4.5,
40 maybe. So imagine we selling it for $700,000, and that's not even taking into account how nice we're gonna make it look. So it's actually gonna be worth more. And we're in the cool district. I always tell people 2 things don't worry about in real estate and how you excel. If you get the right area and you got the right house, none of the other real estate numbers matter. It's going to sell. So yeah, in this situation, I said that to say it's a renovation, but we're going to net over $250,000 in profit. So it's almost like building. It's a perfect renovation situation. So I like the building renovation opportunities there. I go with it.
Now I'm gonna real quick because I'm gonna ask you a few more details about that deal, but real quick. You're from Michigan. I know you mentioned Alabama for school. Where are you at now, and where are you investing? Are you in different markets investing too, or what's that look like for you?
I own some land back in Michigan. I like to invest in land and property, but as far as my investing endeavors, is here in Huntsville, Alabama, and in the surrounding cities. So Tony, New Market, Athens, we go. So those surrounding cities in Huntsville.
So if y'all out there selling, y'all better y'all sellers out there, you better get with him. He buying.
No, you know what though? To keep it 100, I'm glad you put that out there because that also shows that, like, you know, when you hear people talk about even I'm pretty sure you've heard about the out of state investors from like New York to California is going to different markets. Me personally, I haven't heard anybody mention Alabama. People don't act like it's sexy. You know what I mean? So
tell you a funny thing.
What's that?
You know, Huntsville was rated the #1 city living in America, and then we just had our real estate numbers come out for October. The average days on the market were 33 days.
Wow.
So do you understand how strong this market is in the whole country?
Right.
Now you got my antennas up, man. You got me curious now.
Taking notes. We go
right.
Huntsville.
And as far like for this deal that you're in now, did you use hard money to get it?
Hard money loan. Yep.
Okay. And you use your credit to cover those hard money out of the pocket expenses, right?
It was cash. I had to put like 86 grand, close to 90 grand down cash. But you know, if you build that war chest over time and then you realize what the end goal is, that's not an expense. That's an investment. And then it's only a couple month investment. If I spend 100 grand and I'm gonna make 250 or more, don't you want to invite into my investment school?
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah, big time.
And you teach this in your university and in your mentorships, King? This is what you teach?
For sure.
And so it's not just a one dog or pony show, as they say. Once you get into
one trick pony.
Yeah. Once they get into the mentorship, you will verse them into everything that you have, or is it a la carte they have to purchase?
That's the best thing. I have a la carte services, but the mentorship is the one-all be-all. And then a new thing that we just rolled out is once you get my mentorship, we're going to fix your credit for totally free. We were offering credit repair as a service outside of that. But now I realize, I'm like, dang, people's credit is the biggest hurdle that they actually have to get over to get to all of this other stuff we always talk about. That's really what they want.
Right.
The nice car, the nice house, the 850 credit score, and being able to get approved for anything they want and being able to invest in anything they want. So I'm like, all right, join the mentorship. We're going to fix your credit for free in 2 to 4 months. And then I'm going to teach you how to leverage your credit in that time frame. So I've been on the internet for a little bit of time. I do a little research, and I haven't seen anything better.
I haven't seen it. Wow.
We need an explosion for this right here.
Yeah, we gotta turn that up. Wow.
And you're telling our audiences, if we can hustle up 34 grand, if we can hustle up if $3,9,700, we come to you. You will fix our, and we didn't even talk about how versed in, how acclimated you are in the credit space, but you're telling us if we get up, say 4 grand, whatever we got to do to get it up ethically, you will fix our credit and teach us how to leverage it, whether to get into real estate and or, to do the business funding thing.
On top of other things, because
on top of other things. Yeah, like you said, it's not just limited to that. But yes, that's basically what I'm saying. And then you know what I think is the greatest value outside of other things I can offer? A lot of times I hear in these mentorship programs, they actually can't get in touch or have a conversation with the mentor, the person, because they're too busy. I have a lot of people that join my mentorship and they say, you know what? I just need someone I can talk to, to ask, to bounce things off of and make decisions. So it's like, all right, you get access to me to be able to ask me anything you want, whether it's outside of just financial literacy, just the mindset. Because I started realizing you can pile a bunch of information on anything, but if you don't have the mindset to know what to do with it, then it's useless. So my greatest benefit is giving you the mindset, someone to bounce things off of, to put things in total array. So now with this information, you got someone to talk to mentor you through the process. And I'm on a Zoom calls Tuesday and Thursday. So you got access to me every week, twice a week, outside of our Facebook group.
Wow. Outside of the Facebook group.
The lessons are there to learn independently in each section of what you want to learn. So I really like that aspect. I've seen a lot of times people can't really get in touch with the person. It's so many different people in between them actually talking to the person that they signed up to learn from. So they got access to me to learn from me and talk to me.
when you say credit repair, you know, and if you're going to actually hand off and do the services for the individual, what type of credit repair? Because I've heard people do Metro 2, consumer law. Like, it's credit repair is just so wild, and it's like a racehorse. You know, what type of credit repair do you teach? You personally teach, if you was to work on a student's report or a mentee's consumer report?
Definitely just consumer law, because that's how we end with the suit process. And then another thing, again, I've been in this game for 12 years. I've never heard of anyone saying, you know what, here's the lawsuit process if credit repair doesn't work. I have been in a lot of different forums or groups where people say, you know what, I've actually been trying to get my credit repair for 2 or 3 years, going to people. Yeah, hey, Lawrence, I found you. I went through your suit process and I got my results in 2 months. So I started thinking about it. I'm like, dang, you really got something to offer to the community. The lawsuit route, because credit repair is basically, if you go to consumer law route, it's about calling them out on the law that they violate now. But all right, let's say you call them out and they don't choose to respond, then you're still looking for answers. So I'm like, all right, the answer to that is let's sue them for the violations that we know they just violated. But then another question pops up. How do I do that? Where do I start? So I made it my business to offer you the starting point and the end point. And that's what I wasn't seeing available in normal credit repair services. If you telling me that they violating FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, or the FDCPA, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, then okay, we got different ways we can go with this. So let's understand our framework of what laws they're violating. How do we set them up? And then we knowingly put ourselves in a position to win, so we can just sue them. And to piggyback on that, that's why I tell people, okay, let's set it up the right way. Let's sue them. We know we're going to get results if we know they're violating. So that's the easy, simple thing. So that's how we like to approach it, the perfect setup, and then knowing how that's going to end. But lately, I've come across a better metric to actually do it, and that's what I'm offering everybody. I'll say the guaranteed process. We ran across a connection with the credit bureaus to be able to get things processed faster. So that's how we basically offer the guaranteed credit repair. And
I know mic drop.
Nobody else.
I've never heard of anybody offering 100% money back guarantee.
Mike,
big
drop.
Mic drop. Yo,
Lawrence Hicks here on 4 Hour Culture.
On the subject of consumer law, who would you say are your top 3 consumer law mentors, if you even have 3?
I like the lawyers. I learned from lawyers. That's how simple I keep it. There's one guy here, John Watts. I would tell everybody, look him up. He actually willing to help people out of state. He has some connections with other lawyers that's out of state, but you don't need him because you can always come to me. But
do you now as far as, so that would that be your credit repair process, or people come to you like, look, I just want you to sue these people? What does that look like? Are you going to try to fight it off with a few rounds, or go ahead?
Now, I don't sue for people. That's what the ebook and the consultation for. I have the step-by-step process in my ebook, but someone can do it themselves. It's basically just talking about my experience. And then with the consultation, if you need help through that process, I'm willing to help you. But like I say, right now, since we have the guarantee removal program, for me, the suit process is a process. I want to offer something that isn't a process. That's no hassle. But the only thing that comes with the no hassle is it's more pricey. Right now, it's $2,500. I'll say money back guarantee. We offering a special all the way up until Black Friday. It's $1,500. But it's a little more expensive, but it's the guarantee factor. You're not going to be out of any money. And you got 2 to 4 months to get your results. So when you think about other credit repair, people, remember I told you about the 2 years, people that have been trying to get their credit repair for 2 years, and they still got to pay more money to get to my process to actually get the results. So if you reel yourself back as an individual and say, all right, would I want to keep searching, paying $100 here, a couple $100 here, and wait 2 years to get results? Or would I want to pay one fee and know my guaranteed results, or I get my money back? Which one would you choose?
The latter. That's a no-brainer. Yo, man, I already see you one hell of a car salesman, because you selling me right there. No,
I'm ready to sign up right now. I don't need it.
no.
I'm ready to sign up right now.
Yo.
No.
Wow.
So that's what I'm pushing right now, basically. Let me get you guaranteed results in 2 to 4 months, or don't feel like you lost anything. Get your money back. But here's the thing: we've never had to give a refund. You hear that?
Nobody out there screaming this, y'all. Ain't nobody.
It's results or die. Like no fluff. Just let me get you results, or don't feel like you out of anything.
That is as real as it gets, yo. Wow. Wow.
Right now,
Dog, look.
With the team, man, like you gonna get an influx of
again,
you know what I mean?
your social media handles. Drop them for the people real quick. We're gonna throw graphics behind it and all that so they can see. We drop your Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, your business number if they need to get in touch with you, your website, please.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay, well, the Instagram IOMDUB4. How I say, you see me with the red bow tie there. And then Facebook, same thing. Lawrence, LAWRENCE, middle initial A, last name Hicks, HICKS. Look for the red bow tie again. You see me up there grinning, smiling. YouTube is AAIT Enterprises. Apple, Indigo, Tango, Echo, Nancy, Tara, Echo, Rabbit, and Tara, or P as in Paul, Rabbit, Indigo, Sierra, Echo, Sierra. And I have links on all of those pages as well. So I have all the other services I offer. If you want to audit, if you want a consultation, if you want the ebook, if you want to sign up for the mentorship, if you just want to figure out, I want a game plan to where I'm at and to where can I go further, we offer also as well. So if you don't even want any of my services, you can pay for a service. Say, you know what? Look at my credit report, tell me where I'm at, and then give me the steps to go where I want to go. So we call that a credit audit. I think that's a very, very valuable service because I talk to a lot of customers, and the one main thing I see as common is they actually aren't aware of how to look at their own credit report. So when they're telling you what's on their credit report, they actually don't understand well enough to even tell you. So I start, I'm like, dang, this is coming to be an issue. People don't even have their own understanding to be able to say, you know, am I in position or not? So that's what the credit audit is, tells you, all right, here's what a position looks like. Here's how you accomplish your goal. And then here's what you can be aware of the next time you have this question of what it looks like for me to be able to get approved or not. So yeah, click on those links. I have multiple services, and then you can always just call a business 256-963-9406.
So 256, that's an Alabama area code, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you ever see yourself ever going back to Michigan, or you just feel like Alabama, that's where your heart is? Like, that's
when you say going back to Michigan, I go visit my family because that's where most of them there, but only in the summertime. I grew up in the cold. If I don't have to see snow again, I say good deal. So
now, okay, all right, I got it. Got you.
Summertime baby down, man. Summertime baby now. Well, man, listen, man, this was a blessing, man. And to be honest, man, I've never heard an offer what you just offered to our audience, man. And I wish I would have known, because you know I did a battle myself with, you know, a consumer reporting agency, man. It took
he
2 years, bro, literally, man. And
we gonna talk about this offline because he can't. We talking NDAs.
Okay. 2 years, and I kid you not, man. We got your book, man, and you know I was reading over it, man. And we just gotta execute on it, man. And I've never seen what you have going on, man. And guys, if y'all know me, you know I think I know consumer law. But he just told you he's guaranteed you.
There's nobody guaranteeing anything, dog.
Full money back guarantee. Let us perform or get all of your money back.
Get your bread back, bro. And once you have that understanding and that confidence, man, why wouldn't you want a mentor like this? You know what I mean? And he teaches you the sue process. He can't go on courts with you, but he'll hold your hand, make sure you understand that.
Let me add to that. I've been teaching people the easy process to go to small claims. Many people have got results there, but then you got to think about it. We're talking about federal violations. So things really end up in the federal court. We teaching that as well in the mentorship. And then when you go to federal court, you can't just write down what you want. They actually want you to process it and put it in order in detail. We're offering and teaching people that process to where you can't fail.
Wow. Because you've done it. This is what you do.
For sure.
This is what you do. And man, listen, man. I can't. I'm probably sold myself. I'm not going to go talk with the wife. Listen, I said we wasn't paying for no more mentorships. I said we're not paying for no more mentorships, but this is the do-alls tell-all right here. For real, for real. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Go ahead, Ken.
No, Lawrence, we are tapped out on mentorships, bro.
I understand. They are readily available these days.
No,
but I haven't heard anything like your offer, man.
And once you understand that credit gets you in the door, man, you can't go nowhere in life without this credit thing. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? But you need to be around those people that know how to assert their rights.
For sure.
I gotta talk with the queen, man. So this is fine.
He's already. Lord, you about to get another customer, Lawrence. That's
how we like it. And the best thing about it is we're not here to make money. We're actually here to help people. The money is the byproduct of helping someone. So my true goal is to say, you know what? You got an issue that you're struggling with. Let me help you.
And I like to fish. If you want to teach me, bro, I want to, and it's going to empower me to empower my kids. So they don't have to go, because they're fraud. They're all frauds. You know what I'm saying? Nobody tell you can put that stuff on my report, man. But we don't know. We don't know.
Oh, you know what? Real quick before we get to the fire round, one quick question has popped in my mind. So, you know, in that consumer law rabbit hole, you see all types of things. You know, I know it gets deep.
Okay, you just brought me back to something you said earlier too. I want to talk about Metro too, but I want you to finish your question.
So I've read where I haven't heard anybody that has successfully done it, but I've heard of the theory where you can get your credit card utilization to report how you want it to report, regardless of whatever it really is, because all transactions. What is it? All you know the spill. I don't want to give up too much, but you know.
You gonna make me say it? Go ahead.
Well, don't get 15 USC 1680 is 16. One was somewhere in the 1680s. All exclusions, all transactions, and included experiences, and included in that technically is credit card utilization. So is it a myth, or is it like, can you?
It's a myth. It's one guy. You can blur his name. I'm gonna say it. Darain Delavante. I don't know if y'all familiar with him.
What do you think we heard?
Teaching that to people, but it's actually false. That's a misinterpretation of that.
Okay. Wow.
So I hate to do it, but it's the reality. That's a myth.
Okay.
That's a total misinterpretation.
Okay.
And I told you, I learned from the lawyers, the people that sue in court daily. This is who I learned from. So that's how I can be confident when I'm telling someone.
You were saying something about the mentorship. Bring you back to that question. You were talking about
mentor too. That's one of the other things that's being pushed out here. That's a myth. That don't help.
What's that?
What? Metro? What?
Oh wow!
You have people that swear by it.
Oh man, all day.
So now you got
systems out here.
Y'all want more? Freezing the secondary credit bureaus. Another myth. That don't help with credit repair, because you'll hear people. I've seen videos where they be like, get anything removed off your credit in 30 days. Go back to those people that froze their secondary bills and ask how much results they're getting, and then you tell me if it's real.
Ooh, wow. Yo, this is great. Because so the funny thing is, you've been around for a long time. You've seen the wave. Hey, freeze the secondaries and
Why somebody still having issues getting it removed and come back to me and tell me.
Wow.
Here's what made me come out. I've been doing this, helping people behind the scenes, I would say, for a decade plus. But when I seen all of these so-called gurus out here pushing this stuff that wasn't true, I'm like, Lawrence, these people actually really need help, because the people that they're confiding in, they can't really help them like they need.
Right. And your mentorship, I'm harping on this mentor. Is it lifetime mentorship, or is it just a year? Because some of these mentorships, they enroll in them, and then they upsell you to something else, and they tell you got to do this. and you only in it for 2 months, and now you stuck back where you was.
Right.
We can use the word lifetime loosely because that's basically it's no duration. When you come in, you got access to everything, and I'm not telling you when it stops. I'm not telling you, all right, it stops here.
And we family.
So it's like, yeah, as I build, you building with me, and we are on this journey together, though. And my goal is to help you get the things that you came after, understanding the credit framework, being able to leverage your credit, and then having someone that has the resources to help you in things that you may not have been aware of.
Bars, bro, bars.
So we're about to get to the fire round. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but while we're on the subject, because you just dropped a whole bunch of gems. There's one last question. I keep saying it, but you just keep hitting us with you keep what did you learn about it? So because you're involved in the credit repair space, the real estate space, and in the car space. Do you have a fitness thing going on too? If I'm not mistaken.
I do. I like health and wellness. That was actually one of the
Okay.
components of my other company, but in this moment, it's about dialing in and going with your strengths. So my strengths are, like I say, the real estate, the luxury lifestyle, the mindset, the credit, personal finance, and wealth building.
Got you. And you said you also get into the trust too. Wow. Okay. So so you're familiar with the whole life insurance stuff and whatnot?
I teach people that. That's a part. When you get in the mentorship, that's one of the things you learn. I have the Trust Connect. I have someone to set up your trust for you. That's cheaper than I've seen out here, and that's a strong name. And then I also have the Life Insurance Connect, someone that I can give you the number to that's going to help you get your trust and your life insurance set up. And then the life insurance is a beautiful thing because I've been building my bank going on 4 years now. And, when you set up your life insurance policy correct, it's your own bank. You can pay it into it monthly. And then now you worry about, they say, who was it? They say the eighth wonder of the world is compound interest.
Yep. We were just talking about that.
So once you realize that you invest always in long term, and the beauty of a life insurance is you getting that compound interest that's tax free if you set it up right. So they got the Roth IRAs that's pre-tax dollars, or you got a life insurance plan that's pre-tax dollars. So when we talk about investments and the framework of how you do it the best, it's pre-tax situations, because tax is one of our nemesis when we talking about building income or wealth. So we offset the nemesis. Now we're talking about truly building these things.
That's how it's compounding, because you ain't got the overfaming in your pocket.
Man.
Wow.
What Lil Wayne say? Lil Wayne said, "I got so many styles. I am a group." That's you, dog. You man. Like, yo.
Okay, I like that.
Definitely different, bro. Definitely. So
you say that too, though. I've seen a lot of different mentorship programs where they have other people come in and say, "All right, they're gonna teach you this thing." Like I said, since I've been along an array of industries, I can teach you these separate things myself. So I don't need anyone else to really come in and talk to you.
Ooh, the one-stop shop. You hear it? AAIT. Let's yo.
And you know what AAIT stand for?
That's what I was
Ask and I'll tell.
Ooh, that's a bar. You know what, too? Since we're talking about acronyms, I just want to do. I peeped your interview with Shans. I'm on my dub. Do y'all know what that means? I'm on my way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Look at you. Yeah.
I thought, honestly, so for me, because I know how, like, it's dope when you get around someone and they really can help you. I noticed the transition, how your page looked before that interview and how it looked after that interview.
Well, I appreciate that. He helped me as far as the direction of the page, so I appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, shit, I took some pointers from that joint. I'm like, you could do this and that, like with the man. So that's at the end of the day, man. Our culture needs it, man, because we don't have a clue. We out here killing each other. Dog, get your credit in order, man. Like, listen and understand this framework and build your bank, like the King is saying. So, what's your favorite genre of music, King? What's your favorite genre?
I guess I would say R&B and hip hop. I'll turn some rap. Lately, I've been really trying to master Spanish, so I've been listening to my Spanish music or converting it to Spanish. I've really been doing well.
Are you Latino, or are you just like that? Are you Latino, or are you just?
I feel like it. I love spicy food. And for some reason, that culture really appeases me though. So I want to do more research into my findings because I'm like, man, this is in you.
Fact.
Have you been to any Spanish countries, like Spanish speaking countries?
Oh yes, and I love it.
Okay.
No doubt.
Dope.
So if you had a pick between an S500 or a BMW A50, what would you pick?
You know, it's funny. You know, Mercedes has always been known as a pioneer for a lot of technological advances in the automobile industry.
Okay.
So, but BMW, a fun fact, and people may not know, they own Rolls-Royce, and Rolls-Royce is considered the most luxurious car, the most luxurious brand. So now we're talking about a pioneer technology, and then we're talking about the pioneer and the most luxurious. I gotta go at BMW because they got close connections with the best, and I look at myself as the best, and that's all I'm ever after. So BMW would win there, but if I think about for real, I want them both. Give me a BMW and a Mercedes.
Let's go.
You know what? And, you know, we're gonna do a remix on this next question. The next question was gonna be Airbnb or event space, but I think you're in a whole different realm.
No, ask it. I like that question.
Airbnb or event space?
Event space 10 times out of 10.
Wow.
The opportunity is endless. Like with Airbnb, it's capped. All right. How much is your house worth daily? So you got the daily rate. So that's your cap. Unless you're doing a theme, and actually I own a theme Airbnb, so we can garner a little more. When I mean by garner, you know, the prerequisite is there as far as what you're offering, so you can demand a higher price. But then when you start talking about event space, you can charge way more, and no one ever tries to live in an event space. So you never have to worry about it. You're not worried about it. You can offer more and keep rinsing and repeating. So event space, hands down.
Wow.
Wow. I never looked at it like that. You're right. People won't squat in an event space after that party's done. They out.
Yeah, it's guaranteed. I'm calling the police. So.
Wow. So
right.
Is it married life or a single life? Married life or a single life?
I'm a single man with no children, but I want a wife. I wish I could find my queen, but that's yet to be seen.
Oh wow! And you spit that like a poem, ladies. Y'all hear? I meant when looking for my queen, but there's yet to be seen. He got poetry, y'all. Come on, man.
He's the asset out here. Women like not too many of us out here left. So you know what I mean?
Oh, you single too?
Financially sharp as a fucking knife, boy. Y'all better holler. All right. So what's the top 2 communities that you are in that you get your knowledge from? Or if there's any communities, like what do you do to get your knowledge? Because you're very, very astute in a lot of things, King. Where do you get your knowledge from?
You know, I would consider myself an autodidact. And to reference that term, an autodidact is one that's self-taught. So I like to create a framework of where I see myself. I forecast it out there and I say, all right, how do we accomplish this goal? So in the state I'm in life right now, I would say I will be a billionaire. And I want to just understand the financial framework to accomplish that goal. So I'm deep into real estate. I'm deep in investing, like Bigger Pockets. That was one of the podcasts that I've been watching lately because it's the real estate. Because no matter if I'm involved in it or I think I know something, it's about the people that can teach you the things you don't know, the people that have experiences you haven't had.
Facts.
Yeah, so I want to tap in. And, you know, Warren Buffett, he ain't my flavor, but he has a lot to offer as far as just astute advice. So I like to listen to him a lot. He's always in the background because, you know, 2 things that we are not taught, but I think is like a superpower is discipline and consistency. When I think about being successful, those things always come into play. What are you doing every day to better yourself to accomplish your goal? So to answer your question, you know, real estate and investing, and then just being a whole person. Like, how do you be the individual that has what it takes? Because a lot of times people say, oh, no, I don't want the money, or money doesn't make everything. But what happens if you've been working on yourself and making yourself a complete person? The only thing missing is the money.
Wow. So you listen to Warren Buffett in the background, and that's dope. Yeah, because he's one of the top juggernauts out here in that investment field.
And then, you know, some person that I think, I don't know why this came up, Master P and Birdman.
Yeah, Master P.
Why those 2? Birdman doesn't talk about enough, and he has, you know, basically just, far as I know, humble beginnings like myself from a situation, but what he's been able to accomplish that looks like me and I can resonate with. When I see that, I'm like, dang, that's a brother too that came from nothing that made it. And then another one. So it's like, all right, let me find people I can relate to on top of just being successful. People I feel like that came from where I came from, that had struggles that I had, and they're still successful.
I like that. Find people that you can relate to that's either doing what you want to do or has done it. I like that.
And it's the business aspect. They don't do what I do specifically, but I think the overall theme is overcoming and reframing yourself and you being the author of your future. Because a lot of times people think what happens to you defines you in the future. I've been through so much to where if I tell you how it started, you wouldn't see this end. You would just, so it's like, all right, I was in control of how I define myself, not what happened to me. And a lot of times when you hear people tell their story, it's the things that happen to them is the reason why they can't get to where they want to go. You define yourself. And I think a lot of people give that power up. It hurts. It doesn't feel good to pull yourself out of whatever situation you're in. And I always got to say, I tell myself, you got to be able to talk yourself off the ledge. Because when there's no one around and there's no one to turn to, who do you turn to? You got to be able to turn inward. And that's a framework that you build with yourself and knowing that's your core competency. How do I turn in and ask myself the tough questions so there's never a tough question that anyone else can ask me because I already asked it to myself and I got an answer.
What goal are you most excited about reaching last year?
The $1 million mark,
Okay, all right, cool.
Everybody's goal, to touch the M. So.
Man, I can't wait and praying to see that day, bro. Man, listen. And I know you did a lot to get there, man. And I salute you, King. We salute you, man.
And what goal are you most excited about reaching this year? The $1 million was 22, right? 2022. Mm-hmm. So what goal do you, or that you have that you, or the year's almost, did you reach or did you hit like a major milestone for yourself for this year or?
That's funny you asked. I made a video about the different types of millionaires. And I said it's 3 different types of millionaires. The millionaire that has grossed $1 million as far as profits in their business or whatever endeavor, they're a millionaire. And then the second one is one that has a millionaire valuation as far as assets. And then the third one is one that actually has $1 million cash in the bank. I've reached the first two. I've grossed $1 million, $1 million in assets. Now I'm after $1 million in the bank.
Praise. That's clap. We gotta go clap up for that right there.
Wow.
That is true because you could touch it $1 million, but you're not liquid $1 million. So but you're very because you can liquidate them assets to become it. But damn, I ain't never think about it like that. Wow, that's heavy, King. That's
the Trinity right there. So I'm curious, man. When is your birthday?
June 24th. I'm a Cancer.
Okay. Cool. I'm just wondering if there's a correlation with the energy in your zodiac sign and all that, but I don't know if that plays a role with any of it because you different, all different types of signs. But
man, he already told you it's dedication and consistency, bro.
Yeah. I love Cancer though. If you ever see a Cancer or somebody doing their thing, they usually Cancers usually set themselves up pretty good. As far as my experience, Cancers are go-getters.
Yeah, my young boy Cancer, the one that do all our editing, he a Cancer and he go ham, bro. He don't play no games.
My dad's a Cancer.
And what did your daddy do?
Well, he was in the construction and whatnot. Now he does. You want to know what he's doing now? He's retired. He's building a compound in Africa. He's building I mean, not to put all his business out there, but he's building some stuff over there. So he got some business stuff going on.
He ain't on the couch playing video games.
That's why I say that's Cancer energy for sure.
Mm-hmm. Facts. So we're gonna get you about it, King. We really appreciate it. So one last question. So who would you like to work with in the future, man? Like we know you all here getting it. Who would you like that thinks that can? You said that you want to be around people that know the stuff that you don't know. Who would you like to work with in the future, if it would happen?
ET. That's who I'm after.
You said ET?
Yeah, my goal is to be a motivational speaker and spread my word and want to be able to teach people about the mental aspect of overcoming and I want to be able to share that with the world. So I think Jeremy Anderson and Eric Thomas. Those two is who I'm after.
Bars. That's
Wow.
Let's go.
That's dope, yo.
Let's clap it up for the king, man. Let's clap it up. So next year you probably gonna be talking to on the stage with them kings, man. I see it in your foresight, man. I see it, man.
That's
Dedication and consistency. Dedication and consistency.
Man, we appreciate you coming out, taking time out your day to come and inspire people, man. Show people it can be done from humble beginnings to the story's not even done yet. It's only going up, and it keeps going up, especially after that year last year. What to go from, like, man.
And you know what's funny, sir? You say that when I moved here to Alabama in 2012, my bank account was negative $1,000, and I had a 550 credit score with 22 negative items on it, and all I had was a goal to persevere and get to this point where I'm pushing now. So it's funny to look back at where I was and where I am now, and the only thing I think of, like you said, dedication, but it's discipline and consistency.
Discipline, oh my bad, discipline. Get it right, cocksucker. Get it. Discipline. Discipline.
Yeah, because I took a 10-hour drive down here to Alabama, and all I listened to was educational videos to help me accomplish the immediate goal that I had. When I didn't even get internet. I mean, I didn't even get cable because I knew I was going to be watching educational videos. When I got in the shower, I listened to videos. When I went to work, I listened to videos. Anytime I got in that car, I had a chance, I was listening to education and taking any information I could to better my circumstance. And that type of dive in is what I will say is the staple to getting to where you want to go. You got to go all in.
Let's go. So are you currently reading any books right now?
Yes, I've been in the stock market a lot. So I purchased a bunch of books about the stock market, reading price charts and all that stuff, investing. And then
diversifying. One
book I recommend to people is I actually loaned it out. It's not even here right now. The 21 Universal Principles of Success. And then Mentored by a Millionaire.
Okay.
21 Universal. Man, listen, man, you done blessed our stage so much, man. I don't know what to say.
Man, you keep trying to cut him short. Man. I'm trying. I got some more questions, man. No, just real quick, because you know what? Real quick. You know how?
You might be I know I misquoted. That's funny. But go ahead. I'm listening.
So as far as so music is another way to tell people into. So you mentioned what books that you're reading now. Mm-hmm. What would you say were the top 3 most influential books for you to get you up into this point?
I don't know why this keeps Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That really just honed things in on me, because most people are taught to go to school. That's how you be successful. But I started realizing most people, to be successful, they drop out of school. So it's like, I've been lied to. Help me.
Right,
so definitely Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and that Universal Principles of Success, and Mentored by a Millionaire. Those will be my top 3. I don't think anyone will lose out in this world if they read those 3 books. I think they will be setting themselves up for success. And I got another one I like. What Would the Rockefellers Do?
Woo!
That trust about how they set their whole framework up. Let me see. I'm looking at my table right now, the books I got on there. So let me see what else I see.
You got batteries?
Clyde. What's his name? He out of the East Coast. Black Labor, White Wealth. Have you heard that book?
Black Wealth.
I haven't heard of that book. What?
Yeah, that's another good one that I got.
Black
he
Labor.
got Clyde Davis, I think of his name. Look into him. He got a lot of them that I really like. So I think you can get started with those books for sure. I believe, in my experience, that what happens in your life, it's about how you look at yourself. If you say, I am the best, and you truly feel that way, nothing is going to stop you from going after that and being that. That's going to be your reality.
Let's go.
Whatever you think about yourself wholeheartedly, that's going to be a reality. And I think about anyone that's in a position that I desire to be in, they view themselves as being worthy of it first, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get it. So first, learn yourself, love yourself, and you won't have a problem learning and loving other people, and that's a valuable skill. And the possibilities are endless.
For Our Culture podcast, baby. Lawrence Hicks, man. Appreciate you, King, man. Thank you so much.
Yo,
man.
thanks for coming out, man. Much appreciated, bro.
This is one for the books, man. Thank you, King, man. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this. Is there anything else you want the world to know about you before we roll out, King?
I just want the world to know that I've been through, I think, some things, and I feel your pain. And the reason why I'm here today is to help you get over that. And the same struggle you had, I think I've had them too, but it's about what we want and how we get it. And I want to help you.
Financial literacy. Financial literacy. Financial literacy. Financial literacy.
Credit, I ain't spending no debit. Wow, that's stupid. Rather get paid if I use it.